So I'm asking you not to be casual anymore. Start designing the future for yourself, for your family, for your business, for your future. Okay, decide what you want. Don't live in the past, and don't carry the past around like a burden, but simply use your past as one of your mentors to help refine mistakes, make some changes that you can invest now in the future.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. In a world filled with endless opportunities, why would two men who have built 13 multi-million-dollar businesses altruistically invest 5 hours per day to teach you the best practice business systems and moves that you can use? Because they believe in you, and they have a lot of time on their hands. They started from the bottom, now they're here. It's the Thrivetime show starring the former U.S. Small Business Administration's Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark, and the entrepreneur trapped inside an optometrist's body, Dr. Robert Zoellner. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
Mr. Clyde started from the bottom, and now we're at the top, teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks. I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of 5, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the CNC up on your radio, and now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom.
Dr. Z, it is always ecstasy when you are next to me. And on today's show, we have a pro. We have a man who he and his team last week helped to award, I believe, Matt, was it double-digit new franchisees that you helped award last week, new OxyFreshes, or was it 9? Was it 8? How many new OxyFresh franchisees were awarded territories last week?
Yep. So we had 3 new franchisees for a total of like 6 units, but then we had other franchisees that are in OxyFresh currently expand to secondary territories as well. So we had a good combination of current franchisees expanding and new franchisees coming on board. So always a good week when we have, the process is long to get to that. So when they can come out and go through the training and become a franchise, that's where the rubber meets the road and we get to start going to work.
See, when I think of Matt Klein, I think of classiness. So to take the show to another level of classiness, I'm going to do the rest of the show with a megaphone.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Because nothing's more classy than a megaphone.
Nothing is more classy than a megaphone.
Classy than a megaphone.
I was not aware you're doing that. I was like, hey, guys, I think something's going on with the podcast here. I think there's a problem.
Z, remember the last time you and I went out to dinner? It was a double date. It was you and your lady friend and my wife and I. We went out and it was nice. It was at the Polo Grill, and you said, Clay, what do you want to get? What do you want to get? The Boulanger guys coming out. What kind of hors d'oeuvres do you want to get? What do you want to get? And I said,
I think I'll take the bruschetta.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
it went over so well.
Such a classy move.
All right.
And you know what? You said what you think about when you think about Matt Klein. I think about clean carpets.
Well,
I think about excellence in carpet cleaning, green carpet cleaning, and a franchise that is, if there were any openings available in Oklahoma, they're all gone. But if there were any available in Oklahoma,
yeah, you'd be a fool not to do it.
I'd be a fool not to do it.
Now, Matt, talk to us about this. We're talking about taking the right actions, producing the right traction. Taking the right actions produces traction. So if you own an OxyFresh today, okay, so Josh over there with Living Water,
yes,
how
sir.
You doing there, sir?
Awesome.
Okay, let's say that you bought an OxyFresh, okay, and then Andrew over there. Andrew, are you mic'd up? You've been in the studio for like 3 seconds. Are you mic'd up yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
What
now,
took you so long?
if you bought an OxyFresh, let's imagine you bought an OxyFresh in Florida.
Okay.
Josh has one in Florida. See, you've got one in Florida. I've got one in Florida. The 4 of us have.
Hey, let's go visit our OxyFreshes. That'd be fun.
So we're out there now. We're in Florida. Hey, everybody, we're in Florida. Look, we're tanning. So we're out there in Florida, and we know every week we have to do these 5 things. And Josh gets all of them done. See, he gets all of these actions done. See, you get all of them done. Andrew gets all of them done.
He's a get-her-done kind of guy.
And I do none of them. Or some of them.
You do all of them.
Is it arguable that I might get different results, Z, if I don't do the action that I need to take? I mean, is it?
Well, that's what's so funny. I think some people, you tell them what to do, and then they don't do it and wonder why they didn't have success. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Is that crazy?
It's so bizarre. It's bizarre. So here's the first action item you have to do. Matt, tell me if I'm wrong. If you buy an OxyFresh franchise and you're opened up in Florida, and the phone rings, someone finds your advertisements or finds you in Google, they'll call. The OxyFresh franchise call center answers the phone on behalf of the franchisee.
Nice.
And then they book an appointment. Is that part correct, Matt? They book an appointment for the franchisee?
Yeah, and they're actually booking the appointment for you to go complete the job, not to go quote it. So they're actually taking that customer through the entire process.
So I show up. I have a calendar. The calendar says, Clay, be there at 9 a.m. for your first carpet cleaning. Here's the address. Be here. And I know, Z, it's probably a 30-minute drive, but I choose not to leave at 8:15 or 8:30. I choose to leave at 8:50. You leave on time. You leave on time. Josh, you leave on time. Andrew, you guys all leave on time. Matt, if I show up late to a job, does that affect the overall customer experience from your experience as a franchise brand developer?
Certainly. I mean, you can think about most aspects of your life beyond meeting your friends for dinner. You know, those do have an effect. I mean, tardiness is a reflection of how you run your life, right? So if you get down to that customer and even if to a point where you can be tardy, like let's just say your earlier job rolled over because you added things to it.
Yeah.
That's okay. But showing up late and not giving any forewarning or really calling ahead prior to when the actual job was scheduled in the first place, I mean, that customer probably shouldn't even let you in their home, right, or in their office building, because they certainly probably don't want to continue that relationship if that's what they can expect. However, something happened.
Right.
Let's just talk on the side of the fence where, anything. Could be you did an upsell on the last job, which is a great thing that you want to do to make that customer happy, and it pushed your job 30 minutes. Now, if you call that customer and say, hey, we have a very good experience. We had some add-ons to this job. I'm going to be about 30 minutes late. I just want to give you a heads up 30 minutes before your appointment.
Yeah.
Will that be okay for you? And most people will say yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's a better experience than showing up and say, hey, I'm here.
Now,
and then kind of messing that person's day up.
I had a non-franchise I called the other day, Z, because the man cave, this was 2 weeks ago. This is when you're on your vacation, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I came downstairs at, I think, 2:30 in the morning, 3 in the morning to start editing some shows. Come down here. Z, it's a beautiful day, nice and dark, kind of Batman time.
And I noticed 2:30 in the morning, yes, I would.
And I noticed that the toilet was overflowing. And, so luckily no one had used the restroom for a while, but it overflowed about halfway into this room here, okay?
Oh, no.
And so I called a local plumber. And by the way, I had a great experience with Mullen Plumbing, by the way. Mullen Plumbing, great experience. Had a great experience with Williams Plumbing in the past, too.
Yeah.
Okay? But this other company, not those two, I called, boop, 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 and they have an emergency 24/7 thing. Matt, so this is how it says, emergency 24/7 service. A very professional person answered the phone. They said, thank you for calling such and such plumbing. How can I help you? I said, yeah, I got a leak here. And they said, okay, what's your address? We go through that whole song and dance. And they said, now, if you want to pay to have someone sent over right away, it's $150 extra. I said, isn't it worth it?
Yeah. When your man cave is flooding.
Yeah, you got to do it.
What's sad is, what's funny, you had to pay a lot more.
Well, I paid the $150.
Well, of course you did.
And like 3 in the morning, and Jason was with me. He can vouch for this. He was there with me. And it's like we're still recording at 6:30 now. As I turned the water off over there, at 6:30, it's kind of starting to dry up over there because I put towels down and stuff. No guy.
No way.
Yeah. Now, I had my phone on the whole time.
$150.
Oh, sure, yeah. Over the phone. So I called and I said, boop, 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 boop. They called and they said, what's your name? What's your last phone? What's the last 4 digits of your phone number?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking to a different representative. They say, oh, your guy's on his way. Let me give you his number. So I talked to the guy. And this is what he says, Matt. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll try to get there around 9. Just catching a little nap here. True story.
True story.
The tech. And I said, so if I pay an extra $150, you come and what kind of a response time do you? I mean, when do you think you'll for sure be here? Oh, I'll be there. I said, bro, I'll be there by 9. Now this is a guy who I called at 3 in the morning.
Right.
So we get back and we're recording some more. We're editing. We're putting stuff together. Well, see, I look up. It's like 9:05. We're going to record until 10. And I'm going, this guy's still not here.
Right.
So I call. Boop, 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 boop. I get a hold of the person. They said, he's on his way. I talked to the guy. He said, they transfer me. He says, I am so sorry. I guess I overslept 7 hours. So I said, forget it. I'm not the kind of person who leaves a bad Google review because I own companies, but I just want you to know because these calls are being recorded. This is a disaster. Boo. So let them keep my 150. I don't care. I move on. I call Williams. I called. They said, we're going to send a guy over within 30 minutes. Homeboy sends me a text. I think, John, you might have seen that email that came through and the text. It has a picture of the tech's face. He says, this guy is going to be calling you right now, and this is who's going to be showing up. Now, see, watch this. So my wife says, oh, incredible woman, this incredible woman of 18 years of marriage, she says, can I get that plumber's number? You see that? Can I get the plumber's number?
Yes, I see that.
So she sends me a text, and so, Z, you know what I did? I sent her the number of my plumber right there that showed up on time, who showed up early. His name is Josh. So if you're out there and you live in Tulsa,
American,
and you're looking for an awesome plumber, you call this guy, Josh, with Williams Plumbing. Let me give you his cell phone number. Call him all the time. He loves late night calls. It's 918-924-8244. 918-924-8244. Now, if you're in Tulsa, you know you've had a bad plumbing experience. You've had to have had one.
You've had to.
Put this number in your phone right now. Say Clay Clark.
Plumber emergency.
918-924-8244. See, I've already referred this guy 2 jobs that I know of, one to my wife. Why do you think I referred this guy, Z?
Because he, oh my gosh, really? I got to break this.
Matt,
this softball.
why am I referring that guy?
Because he came on time. He was nice. He got the job done.
Matt, why can't every other plumber figure it out, man? Why am I referring that guy? Help me out here.
Yeah, because it wasn't important enough for that other guy to wake up and get you taken care of, even though on his website it said they can't.
Oh, he's so lucky I don't mention his name on the show. He's so lucky because he was so, the entire conversation, not only did he not apologize, he kept saying, well, I just was trying to get some sleep, man. No, I'll try. Apologize, I'm a little bit late, but he never said, like, I am sorry. I'm owning the fact that it's 6 hours later.
6 hours.
I had a meeting set at 10 o'clock for BA Lawn and Garden to drop off a mower. I almost missed that thing. I had to drive like I was in the A-team, Z, to get the freaking...
Dude, you always drive like you're the A-team. What are you talking about? You're the worst driver
like an A-team being chased by bees.
Oh, my gosh.
It was like
That's actually an improvement over the way you normally drive.
So, Matt, step 1, we've got to show up on time. Step 2, we got to never stop recruiting technicians. Why can't we ever stop recruiting technicians, man?
Yeah, for that last story, if you own a business and that guy worked for you, that's why you need to have people that you can lean on, because that guy shouldn't be part of a service-based team or own a company with a service-based team, because clearly he's taking advantage of the market that he's in and very extreme situations like restoration where they need something right away, right? So the perfect example of why you need to really keep a nice Rolodex of people that could potentially work for you and be a good fit is for that guy, right? Or for situations where you need to grow, you don't have to start from scratch every time. You can actually look at people you've already spoken to that may be a good fit, that now is a better situation for you to hire them, and you can replace the guy that shows up 6 hours later, and they can actually have a career that they're going to get up out of bed for instead of the other gentleman that can't get out of bed.
Hey, Matt, have you ever DJ'd?
I have not.
Really?
I have.
You're kind of
DJ with your
but you've been
in Las Vegas or like DJ on the microphone.
Have you ever DJ'd like when John Barnett has his big white parties downstairs in the basement? Have you ever got behind the wheels of steel and thrown down?
I have absolutely not.
Really? Are you strike?
But I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so DJing. You know this. You got to teach. If you're going to be a disc jockey, you got to be good at announcements. You got to be good at playing the songs. You got to know sound and lights. And it takes a while to train a good guy up.
Sure.
Let me tell you about not
good DJs.
Let me tell you about not recruiting consistently. Let me tell you about what happens when you don't recruit consistently.
All right, tell me what happened.
Matt, do you remember your prom?
I do.
Where did you? Where was your?
I remember when it was overall. I mean, the year.
What high school did you go to?
I went to a high school called Random High School.
Okay, how many
Not
people went to that?
Random.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but it was pretty
random.
random either way.
Yeah.
How many people went to that high school your senior year? How many seniors?
Senior class? Probably about 1,000.
Okay, so Z, picture this. Okay?
Pretty good size school.
I get called from Capel High School down in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's a nice school.
I used to live in Capel.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
For a year.
Dude, that deserves some kelp. I had no idea. I feel closer to you
I've
now.
got a great story about it too. When you get done with yours, I got a great Capel story.
So this is what happens, Matt. I'm down there DJing a wedding at the Embassy Suites in Capel near the new the Bass Pro Shop at the time, just going up. And this lady pulls me aside, Emery, and she says, "I love the show. Could you DJ the prom?" Now, I had a company in Tulsa. We DJ'd in Dallas from time to time. We hadn't fully expanded there yet. And I said, sure. What day? She tells me the date. We book it. It's an all-night, 24-hour prom lock-in kind of thing. It's on a Friday. So I'm going, I got this. So I booked that thing. Well, then another lady called who had seen me DJ in Tulsa, whose daughter went to school in Minnesota. She found out I'm from Minnesota. She's like, I don't know if you would do this, but we're going to send a cruise boat down the Mississippi River to DJ for prom on Saturday this day. So the prom in Capel, the prom is all night in Capel is on a Friday. Saturday's in Minnesota. So I said, I'd love to do it. She says, okay. I said, but I'm not personally available, but I'd love to refer you to my top guy. And at the time, I had a top guy, and both of them, Matt, booked it 6 months out. Now, Matt, how big of a deal is prom in your mind? We go back to high school senior year. Was it a big deal for you, prom? Was it awesome? Do you have big plans?
It was all right. It was not something I was, really preparing for. Plus, I was, an 18-year-old boy who couldn't think about much else.
I get it. Well,
not going to school, so.
Okay,
yeah.
Well,
Were you a dancer? Did you dance any songs?
He's a dancer. I can tell he's a dancer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big dancer.
Yeah. Did you Running Man? I mean, what was your go-to move? Yeah, if you had to have back in prom.
Yeah.
What was your go-to move?
Roger Rabbit.
I mean, what was it? Sprinkler.
Yeah. It's
Start
called,
the lawnmower.
It's called just awkward.
Awkward.
Awkward moment.
Awkward. Try to move your body in the most awkward way,
So here's the deal. So I go down there and I DJ the heck out of that show. See, I gave my all to that all-night event.
You poured out your soul on that.
True story.
DJ
at the end of the event, the kids were so moved. First time Emery said ever. They did a standing ovation. The kids were like, "Oh, thank you,
wow,
DJ."
Wow.
So I'm spent though. It's like 3-4 in the morning. We're wrapping up. I am out of gas. Bidadoo. One of my DJs.
Oh yeah, you're top guy. I got a feeling.
What's going on, man? He's like, hey, I'm about ready to leave for Minnesota. I think I have like a tummy ache. It's just a stomach issue. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know. I might have been something I ate. You know how that is.
Oh yeah.
You know when someone's not sick. Yeah. What kind of things do they typically describe? It's
I think I'm coming down with something.
I think I'm on the verge of coming down. I could be. I need to get it checked out. I'm like, so you're not leaving immediately? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, if you leave now, because it's 4:00 now. If you drive 12 hours, it's 4:00. We're supposed to set up like at 7 p.m. or whatever for this all-night prom thing. If you don't leave now, if I leave now and I drive straight with no sleep, that's the only way we can do it. And he goes, sorry to bail, bro.
Your top guy. This is your top guy.
Top guy. No backups. I got nothing. Because I used to believe people.
Maverick and
Matt, I used to believe people. They said, I'll for sure do it. You can count on me. I used to believe them. So I called Vanessa, and I said, Vanessa, I got to do this thing. And she goes, how are you going to do it? I said, I don't know. So I'm frantically calling while I'm driving. I get a hold of a guy named Rich, one of our DJs, and Rich is not the kind of guy who should have done prom. He's a nice guy. And Rich goes, dude, when we go drive through Tulsa, stop at this QT at whatever. I'll hop in the car. I'll drive while you get some shut-eye. That way you're functional. We'll do it.
Perfect. There you go.
So
you got a plan.
We're breaking every speed record possible. It's a legit 13 hours from Tulsa, and we had to go to Tulsa and then up. So it was like 17 hours. We had to do it in like 13. And dude, I mean,
you're gonna do what they say can't be done.
I mean, we're just. This is us driving through Joplin.
Time to get there.
We're driving up there to Kansas City. Through a Des Moines.
This is your normal driving stuff.
Well,
I love the fact that you said I'm driving and I'm on the phone. I mean, this is your normal
I drive
stuff.
bad, but not normally fast.
Fast bad, dude.
Yeah, I drive a slow bad. It's Okay, anyway.
You're schmedium.
I drive like a glacier. But the point is, so we now get up there, Matt, and I've got to DJ a party. I've only slept for maybe like an hour. I DJ the crap out of that thing, came back.
On the riverboat.
On Sunday, sounding like Joan Rivers, thought I was going to die. And see, I only had to do about 3 or 4 more things like that before I realized I need to never stop recruiting.
Never stop recruiting.
Matt, heal somebody out there that says, why do I need to recruit? I don't even have any positions available. Matt, why can you never stop? Preach it.
Yeah, you're never going to know what's going to happen, right? You might have someone that needs to move across the country. You might have your best employee, have a situation where they need to take a leave of absence for a while for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, your situation could be perfect today and disastrous tomorrow. Your ability to prepare for that disaster, even if it's not, you're not expecting it. If you prepare for it when it does happen, or if it does happen, you'll be so much further ahead of the game. Every day goes by that you're starting to recruit when the disaster happens and the day lost, where if you already have that already set up, you can just put someone in place, get them ready to go out the door. It'll have an impact on your paycheck. for not only that person that needs that job, but also, your numbers. And when you look back at that day, so, a day lost, you'll never get back.
Clay, I hate teasing the Thrive Nation.
No, you hate doing it.
I hate doing it.
It's not something you want
so
to
I
do.
said earlier that I had a Capel story when I lived down there.
Yeah, give us the story.
And so I'm down there living in Capel, and I had a fairly nice vehicle that I was driving around at the time. And unbeknownst to me, Capel was the home of several, if not many, Dallas Cowboy football players.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
And my car seemed to be a relatively common car amongst the professional football players.
What were you driving?
It was a 500 SL Mercedes convertible, black Mercedes convertible.
You were balling.
I was. Yes, you're correct. I was.
Okay.
So I'm driving down the road, and in my rearview mirror, there's a carload of what appeared to be teenage boys.
Right.
Yes. And they were pointing and waving frantically, and they came roaring up to me. And they came up to me, and I've never seen a carload of teenage boys so disappointed in my life to see me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because I think they were coming up on somebody of note. They came up, and they were all just like,
So they thought you were somebody of note.
Well, they thought I was a Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, because that was
they thought that you were a cowboy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of them lived in Capel, so they would have sightings around them on the road.
Let me tell you, I misunderstood the story. I thought the young boys. You might have thought those were players.
No. They were
the players maybe thought that you were like.
Oh no,
Tom Selleck.
Oh my gosh, am I that bad a storyteller?
No, I didn't.
Matt, did you get that? Tell me, someone got that.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know what happened. I blacked out there.
You must you driving to Minnesota, I think.
Okay. Now, Matt, the final 3 actions you have to take to get traction in your business is you got to over-deliver. Can you explain what it means to over-deliver at OxyFresh when it comes down to cleaning the carpets?
It does, yeah. So, it starts with that initial, what we had a conversation about earlier, is showing up on time and maybe a little bit before. But even before that, setting the expectations, hey, I'm on my way. If you need something, let me know. I'll be getting gas. Can I get you a coffee or a newspaper, right? That's over-delivering on something that nobody else does, right? So before you've ever gone in the home, you're already giving them something that it's not costing them any money, right? Breaks down the wall of maybe somebody you don't know, gets them comfortable with you. You want to show up and do at least 3 wows on a job. It doesn't matter what it is, but that's going above and beyond. So if they're expecting a carpet cleaning or maybe a tile and grout cleaning or an upholstery cleaning, but they're not expecting someone to come to their home and change the atmosphere in a positive way beyond the carpet. So if you do that, pick up some of their stuff in the yard, put it on the porch, or ask them how their day is, make them laugh. But you also over-deliver on the process itself and leave them with a much better home or office than when you got there, you're going to win and you're going to get that customer back. And the implications of you doing that may go a lot further than you ever expect. I have a friend that owns a 200-unit apartment complex. Right, I have a friend that's one of the biggest realtors, in this area. You should talk to him because you were so good at your job that I feel it necessary to tell my friends. Right, if you don't do those things, you'll never know. And if you blend in, good luck, because when you blend in with everybody else, it's just a matter of price at that point. If you don't blend in, you stand apart, then you can set your own market.
Check this out. There's a notable quotable I say quite a bit during our sales portion of the workshops. But in the absence of value, price is the only consideration. I say that all the time. In the absence of value, price is the only consideration. And Z, I want to share with you a story about landscaping jackassery.
Oh, please do.
Years ago, we had a house at 89th and Lynn Lane. Matt, if you can picture it or you Google it, it's 8900 South Lynn Lane. It's about 5 to 7. I think it was like 7 acres, but 5 acres you kind of lived on. The rest of it was like creek and trees and stuff. And it was a landscaping company that, they knocked on my door.
Knock, knock.
So we'd love to earn your business. We have a large lawn. We'll mow it, 0 turn rate, mower. We can get the thing done in 2 hours, whatever. And these
guys.
Nice
little gate up there.
Yeah, there you go.
Fence.
There it is, yeah. And
drive-through carport.
It's got the 2 buildings connected. One was the DJ office. One was the house. Beautiful place. Red barn in the back.
On Google, someone drove through your front yard and left skid marks.
I'm sure. I'm sure that happened.
So
now here's the deal. That was the old house
by about 40 feet.
Now this is what happened. This is a true story. This guy shows up to mow the lawn, and we had a patio in the back. You can see, Matt, there's kind of like an escape staircase in the back where you can go out the back, a big deck there, and there's like a patio in the back. And see, the patio is like 2 feet off of the grass, so it's like a step down, patio, like a step. He decides to mow that thing with a 0 turn radius and mows over it. just breaks his blades and chops off the corner of this concrete slab, and he knocks on my door. This is while I'm running the DJ business. It's like during the middle of the day on a work day. He goes, "Hey, your patio destroyed my lawnmower out there, and I just want you to know I'm gonna have to go get some other blades, but I'm gonna have to add that on the bill for you for maintenance, because it just totally screwed it up. You guys should have let me know about that." And I'm like, it's like Biff from Back to the Future, where remember Biff borrows Marty McFly's ar, and he wrecks it?
Yes.
And then Marty's like, "Biff, I'm sorry I didn't know about the blind spot." And he's like, "McFly, I spilled my beer all over my shirt when I ran into that other car." It's just that kind of thing. So under-delivering is so common. Here's a landscaping service that broke my patio and then wants me to pay for the blades.
That seems fair.
I'm not going to pay for the blades. Furthermore, quit messing up my patio.
You didn't tell him that you had a cement patio back there that you were hiding.
What is he, mowing my lawn blind? Is he wearing a Darth Vader helmet on? Now, after you do that, the final two things you have to do, and for sake of time, we'll go fast, but you have to do this. Once you've over-delivered, Matt, you've got to get reviews, and you can never stop advertising. Talk to me about why we have to get those reviews and never stop advertising.
Yeah, so, in the current climate of things, this is a very big step because the customer only can look in the first part of their investigation of who they want to use. This is the biggest factor. So, it's kind of like if you're going on a date, you want to leave a good first impression, right? But this is like 2019. You're on Tinder, right? Your first impression is that picture, right? Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Same thing with this. You have to have the reviews. You have to have other people in the same situation as the person looking for your business. You have to have them be able to look and say, okay, out of 100 reviews, 98 of them are positive, 2 of them are not. I can go down the list and read 20 positive reviews until I'm blue in the face on how good this company is, right? And if you do that at a point where you're so much further above the competition, or you have so many more better reviews, or your rating is higher, and you piggyback off of that, being able to have a very useful website with the technology to help support that client and whatever they're trying to do, whether it's just get a quote or book a job. Maybe they're not comfortable on the phone, giving them access to view, book a job online. So it starts with the review, getting them excited enough to basically pick you. Right? Once they pick you, then you got to over-deliver on the customer engagement process, whether it's a phone call or an online, scheduling or an online quote, whatever it is. So the review gets them in your front door to say, hey, I want to have a conversation. If they're not in your front door and there's somebody else's, you lost that customer. The reviews are important. You have to get them. You talked about having 3 wow moments. Thrivers, think about that. What are the 3 wow moments that you have with every customer interaction? That see that is hot.
Hot sauce.
That was hot sauce.
That's Cajun hot.
That seared my brain.
I need to take a drink of water. That was so hot.
I tell you what, we're just going to take a pause here and just drink cold water for a minute here. I tell you what, I feel like we're in the sauna now. We're in the sauna with Matt. This is weird.
That's better.
Pretty nice.
So
nice. All right, now the final step. You can never stop advertising. If you listen to this show with any regularity at all, you can never stop advertising. And see, what's the absolute minimum percentage of your gross revenue that you believe you should be spending on advertising? Minimum.
Well, I started off at 10, and I scaled it back down now to where I'm 1 to 2%.
But when you're starting something.
Well, I was 10% when I started.
10%.
That was heavy. That's a lot.
That's heavy.
That's heavy.
That's like gravy.
That's like.
That's like.
But here's the deal: if you live below your means, if you delay gratification, if you don't run out and buy the new big car, the new big house, all the latest greatest stuff, you've got. Well, I've got Dish, Direct, cable, and streaming videos. Plus, I have a wide collection of DVDs
and a Hulu. And I just got a big laser disc because they're massive, and I like massive discs.
Yes, and I put a down payment for a 100-inch screen, laser projection TV.
And I'm also working on right now installing a home theater.
Yes.
When I get back from vacation. I don't have any leads though.
I'm about ready to get all the surround sound I can get.
I finance myself to the hilt. When I get back from vacation,
I want speakers attached to me. I've actually super glued 2 speakers to my shoulders.
I upgraded
because I'm that serious about entertainment.
The Lexus that I got to help me with my real estate business is.
I just have my Lexus to drive me to my Mercedes.
How many people do you know?
I keep the Mercedes.
And Matt, Matt, I'm not asking you because I know that you don't know these people, but Z, I'm sure you do. Yes. How many people do you know who get their real estate license, get glamour shots, go ahead and get they will go ahead and lease the luxury car, and then sell nothing?
Quite a few. Hey, speaking of glamour shots, should you and I let's go do a team like Thrive, the Thrivetime show glamour shots. You and I just kind of buddy it up and go. What I could do is I could stand way far in front of you so that my head would be about the same size as your head, so it wouldn't look weird. You know, we could do that kind of an optical illusion. Because if I'm standing next to you,
let me do this. Let me cue this up. Let me cue this up, Matt. This song goes out to you, Matt.
Oh,
let me get this.
That's hot.
Let me pull it down a little bit.
Pull that thing down.
Just you and I.
There you go.
There you go, Matt.
Take it, glamour shots.
Sharing our love, we're together.
At glamour shots.
I know in time.
Matt, when was the last time you went to get glamour shots?
We'll build
2 weeks ago.
I knew it.
No,
I
seriously.
borrowed somebody else's cat.
I want you to think about this, Matt. In your home growing up, did you have photos of your mom in glamour shots somewhere around the house?
Big hair. Big hair.
Oh, I'll do you one better. You guys remember J.C. Penney's?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
So we did. We took a family photo at J.C. Penney's.
that's the move.
And they decided to put that up in our local J.C. Penney's for like 2 years.
Oh, because you're a beautiful
So
family.
every single time when school, like, hey, I saw you in J.C. Penney's. I'm like, hey, I don't want to talk to you.
Hey, I don't want to
Well, dude, this song here, Crystal Gale and Eddie Rabbit. Crystal Gale's hair. I want to show this to you because the guys in the studio. Her hair literally touched the floor in this video. She grew out that mop, Z. It wouldn't stop.
Wow.
Let's get
That's
let's get into the chorus. Here we go.
Just you and I.
Hey, look at him though. He's got full on party in the back going on right there.
Matt, have you had a mullet?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, maybe, yeah, maybe. When I was playing tetherball, like 5 years old.
That hair alone is impressive.
Here we go. We're taking the chorus. Here goes Z.
That smile that was all.
Oh man.
I wish I knew the words. I'd sing along right now.
Couple skate. I want all the experienced skaters to get to the inside. The rookie skaters get against the wall. Get against the wall. It's a carpet wall. It's safe out there. Stick around. We got the quarter game coming up next year, but blue light special.
Hey, we need to get matching blue jean jackets. Go take some glamour shots. That's right.
One roller skates.
Oh, okay, Matt. If somebody out there says, listen, I don't have time to do these revenue-producing activities because I'm watching Crystal Gale and Eddie Rabbit videos, what's going to happen to their business no matter what kind of franchise they buy?
Yeah, well, eventually you'll probably just, get to a point where it's just stable, and then you'll not do enough things to get overtaken by your competition, and then, you'll have to either make a decision whether you're going to put the effort in or you're going to need to close your business. Pretty simple.
Now, Matt,
right? There are people out there doing it. It just depends on how many and how hard. And if you're not doing it faster and harder and trying, you're gonna fail.
Well, here are my final two questions for you here. Josh with Living Water Irrigation has a question for you. I've got a question for you. My question, I'll go first with my question. Here we go.
Sure, why not?
Tell us about a franchisee out there that's doing these 5 things. An OxyFresh franchisee, somebody in the OxyFresh system and the team of OxyFresh who's showing up on time. They never stop recruiting. They over-deliver. They're getting reviews. They're making the money. I mean, who's somebody who's never stopping advertising? Give us an OxyFresh franchisee. Preach the good news. Encourage us, my friend. Encourage us.
So just one or like 50 of them?
Well, you just fire them off stream. You have 400 of them. I mean, just give me a couple.
Yeah, so I've talked about her before. She's always very impressive to me. Marsha Colser. She's in Connecticut. She is a very by-the-book type of person. Effort's not an issue for her. She's doing all the things correctly, and I would say she's bringing things to the OxyFresh team across the country that that other people can utilize as well. Larry Killian in Long Beach, California. He's a very hardworking franchise from day one. He has been driving his business. One of our fastest growers. We have a gentleman, Lance Stubblefield, who basically at this point, he'll become our largest franchise in terms of territory numbers. When he basically has run his business, worked for the government for years, all in Virginia. Now he owns areas in Illinois. He owns areas in Orange County. He's potentially looking to own areas in New York. So, I mean, you can't go and expand that way unless you're really organized and doing all those things. And everywhere he goes, his customers love him. So, all those are very different individuals, but all with the same amount of success. So those are some good good franchisees that we all look towards to follow the lead.
Z, I tell you what, I'm excited about this question from Josh. It might
I'm
be
kind of fired up.
Josh typically paints Matt into a corner each week, asks some questions that are inappropriate, very politically divisive, typically religious, political in the undertone. So we'll see what happens. Josh, what's your question for Mr. Matt Klein?
Oh, I was going to have him explain to us his prom night, but I think that might get a little out of hand. So,
wow.
He went there.
That's what he did. I knew he'd start there.
So Matt, obviously, y'all don't have any of these at OxyFresh because you got 400 awesome franchisees. So, I have noticed with acquaintances or other people, other small business owners, as we've implemented systems and processes and stuff, I get a lot of blowback from people who call me and ask me my opinion on something and then go, oh, I just don't have time for that. Oh, well, that's just silly. Oh, well, you do this. Oh, you do that. So the out of those 5 things, Matt, looking at that and your other people, because your franchisees are killing it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you view out of those 5 things when you get somebody and you say, hey, if you'll just do this, I promise if you won't be lazy, you'll be successful. How do you push that, Matt?
How do you push it?
Yeah, well, we push it and just say, hey, these guys are doing, you told me when we first started talking about franchise, you want to be successful. But now that you're in the franchise, you don't want to be successful because your actions don't dictate, be doing that. So, it's
honest.
never something we can tell them whatever we want, right? It's a lot like, why is somebody more successful at one thing than another? It has nothing more to do than effort, unless you're like a rocket scientist or, you're 7 foot tall and you can't play basketball, but you're still in the NBA. Right. So in these types of scenarios, it's very much, the reason that they don't want to do it is because they wanted you to give them the same answer they're leaning on, right? It's too hard. Well, when someone else is doing it, it's not too hard. You're just too lazy. So, I think just when you have a conversation, you need to be as open and as honest as possible. And the luxury we have at this point with OxyFresh is we have a lot of people. Not all of our franchisees are successful. Some try way harder than others. Some have different expectations. Some people's success are other people's failures. So you have to understand the individual when you're talking about success and drive. But if someone has a goal of being a millionaire, but they treat it as they're having $5 days in terms of effort, they're never going to get there.
Hey, Matt.
Right? I don't know if that answered your question, but it's all effort.
It did. Can I steal the it's not too hard, you're too lazy? Can I put that on a billboard and just say Matt Klein and then just
MK.
Let people know that it's not too hard, you're just too lazy?
Oof.
Yeah, and sure. And we've all done it, right? Everyone's looked in the mirror at one point or another and said, you know what? It's me. This is a me issue. This is not anything else beyond me not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? It's only important enough if you're going to do it, right? Money is only there if you want to do it. And most people want to be successful. Few people actually put the effort in to be successful.
Perfect. You're absolutely correct. Now, Matt, Forbes magazine, which is kind of our business Bible.
The business Bible.
The Bible of business.
That is
Forbes. They say, they have a crazy number, that 67% of the people out there in the United States of America, could be the world, I know it's Merc at least, would like to have their own business. Why, and they're listening right now, why would you say to them it's a good idea to call you and talk to you about an OxyFresh franchise? Why?
Yeah, for multiple reasons. And one is we may get to a point where, this is a good option for you. Or maybe even if OxyFresh isn't a good option, hopefully my conversation will get you to a point where you say, I can do a business, OxyFresh or other. Now I have the confidence. I'm having a conversation and seeing what my daily duties need to be. Most people at a job are putting effort in some direction, right? It's where you target that effort in your own life. It can be a helpful thing in business. So one of two things are going to happen. You're going to get to a point of knowing you want to be a franchisee. You just got to figure out which one, right? And if no is a good answer, that's fine. That's okay.
Sure.
But it'll also tell people to look themselves in the mirror. And I have this conversation with a lot of people. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and you realize that the last 10 years of your life, effort really wasn't an issue, right? Maybe that you had some bad times, or maybe, you had a startup company that really didn't get to the point of, going public and you making millions of dollars. But you still were able to grow that business with that company, and the results maybe didn't show, right? But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, you know what, I've been laid off 5 times, all for the same reason. I can't show up on time. I'm combative. Then you probably shouldn't own a business.
Right.
right? So the conversation I have is very exploratory to you as a person and your ability to do this and the effort in which you're going to put into it, because everyone is capable, but not everybody should do this.
Okay, I have Matt, you know this on the show. You've been on enough shows where you know typically the number one topic that I get into is not pulverization.
Pulverization.
Specifically, I don't recall the last time I've talked about testicular pulverization.
Yes. I'm with you now.
Now let's get
I don't even know what that is.
I want to get into pulverization. Pulverization is the act of grinding something down into a powder or a dust.
Yes.
And there was a young man.
Oh, I thought we were talking about my prom again.
Think of whoa. Hey, Apache, jump on it.
Must be the money.
You might have to cut that one off.
No, I'll cut it out. Trust me. Z, do you remember?
Oh, no, that was
so far in the past, I can't remember where we're supposed to cut it out. Okay, so anyway, here's what we have. This is a true story. I am a friend of mine says, Clay, can I come to the party you guys are having at Dr. Z's house? It's a party where we're going to have the employee appreciation party. Can I come to the party as kind of your plus one, you and your wife, but can I come with you? And I said, sure, friend.
Come over third wheel, actually.
Third wheel. And he's a friend of mine who owns a business in town.
Okay.
And Dr. Z had, I want to say, probably one sip of one glass of wine previous to this conversation. And this guy had probably had one beer or seven. But he walks up to Dr. Z and he says, Dr. Z, I'm having a really hard time holding my team accountable. It's like they won't get reviews, they won't show up on time, and they're just not greeting my patients on time. And he goes, come on out here. So he opens up the screen doors, and you walk by the aquarium, the big wall-sized aquarium. You walk past into the man cave. Now, the man cave, Z, can you explain what the man cave was, what the man cave is all about, the lore of the man cave?
The man cave is a sacred place.
It's hallowed.
It's a hallowed place.
In fact, we even speak about this as a violation of Man Code Ordinance 2.7.
Yeah, I have a little... The man cave is a place of peace and harmony.
Outdoor fireplace.
I walk in, I just feel edified.
No bugs.
It's glorious. On one side, you have a fireplace. On the other side, you have an aquarium.
You have a flat screen TV. Lights that change to the colors of the teams playing in the game.
Yes.
True story.
You look out over the pond and the serenity of the backyard with the pool and the pool house.
There's a bridge, I believe. There's a bridge.
There's a troll that lives underneath the bridge. Looks a lot like me, but he's a troll nonetheless.
Big pool house.
Passing over the bridge.
Beautiful, majestic pool.
The troll will get you.
And the man says, you might not remember this, but he says, the employee, I just cannot get them to get reviews.
My front desk person is just...
They won't show up on time.
But they're not answering the phone.
They're not answering the phone. They won't greet people. The systems you guys talk about on the show just don't work.
They just don't work.
And you said, sir, you need to fire the person.
Oh, that's so
and replace them with someone else. And he says, but I can't do it. I've known this person for a long time. And you said, sir, do you have a hammer at your home?
Yes.
And the man says, I do. Why? Do you want to continue the rest of the story?
Yes, and I said to him, listen, well, here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to take out that hammer.
Take it out.
And swing as hard as you can and hit yourself.
Right
between your legs.
Right in the crotch region.
Right in the crotch.
Multiple times.
The crotchal region.
Thus beginning the process of pulverization. Continue.
Because
smacking that. Just
until you decide what you want to do more. Continue that act.
Just hit it like a lead blood.
Fire that person. And it's yours to decide. And I'm telling you, can keep that person at your front desk.
You could do that.
And continue to ruin your business and have ice packs delivered to you daily because of the continued pulverization.
Just smack it.
I said, it's your choice now. And you know what? Here in the man cave, we all have choices.
We all have people have choices.
We all have.
And this guy walked off like after he talks to Z, he walks off and he's like, God, he's like mean. That was the comment. So, I mean, it's not mean holding people accountable. That's why I love OxyFresh. There's accountability. There's a plan that makes sense. Matt, we love you, man. You represent accountability, America. You are what's right with America. Matt, if somebody wants to buy a franchise, how do they get a hold of you?
Yep. So go to Thrivetime Show /OxyFresh. Get on there, log in, put your information in there. It'll come to us. We'll be able to, reach out, have a conversation. You can always go to our website. Just make sure you let us know where you came from. It's very important. Just like we talk about reporting, We need to know where everyone comes from on all fronts. So let us know if you're interested. Let's have a conversation. Let's dive into some of your goals. Let's talk about OxyFresh. We'll look at some territories, see what's available. And it doesn't cost you anything but some time to look at it, and it might change your future.
Thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. That's Thrivetimeshow.com/Oxy.
Now, you spell OxyFresh a little different than you might think.
OXI.
OXI.
Fresh.
Fresh.
OXI.
I.
I like me.
As in-
OXI.
as in-
Fresh.
I.
Now, here's the deal. If you want to make it easy to track, do that. If you want to make it uneasy to track, just go to OxyFresh.com. Either way, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We know.
Z, let's end the show with a boom. Are you ready?
Let's
Matt,
do
are
it.
you ready to end the show with a delayed Skype phone call boom?
I am.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Hello, my name is Daniel with Daniel's Heating and Air here in Amarillo, Texas. The way Google has affected my business, we have got a lot of calls from Google. Right now it's July, and we've had the best month ever.
The only other thing I have, it says, is a B18.
Hey.
That's it.
B18, baby. That's my favorite number.
B18999.
You can hear the office going. That phone, like
99.
right
That's my
before you
favorite
calling
number.
us, we got like 5 people
Thank
on
you.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. And then what is your domain?
Okay, how much?
Domain.
Route66HVAC.com.
Perfect. Do you have them in stock?
Route66AV.com.
HVAC.
Okay.
AC.
Can I give us the
HVAC.com.
please?
Okay. You ready?
Go for
It'll be 24.
Nervous, but let's go.
Okay, here we go.
And it's SH.
3.
Sorry, SCHILL.
All right, Thrive Nation. On today's show, we're talking to an HVAC man. An HV. What does the HV and the AC stand for? Brandon, pop quiz. What's the HVAC stand for?
Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning.
Yes, this guy, I'm telling you, he knows his trade. He's actually in his office right now. So, folks, if you hear somebody on the phone, it's because they're always selling. They're always doing customer service. They are a real company. Carter, I am fired up to have him on today's show. Carter, this is your longtime client here, Route 66 HVAC.
Oh, yeah, and I'm equally fired up.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I got to ask you, we've been working with you guys for a while, and my understanding is you guys are getting more leads. Brandon, are the amount of leads increasing, sir?
Well, I can say before we started business with you guys, we didn't really have any because we just weren't using Google at all. And now we're getting so many Google leads, so many like word of mouth and cultural leads out of the community outreaches and stuff we're doing. And now we're having phones just going left and right, phone calls, and I need more phones, or we're just going to have to answer calls. You know, it's going crazy. If you see that board back there, that's what it looks like right now in the schedule.
So that's your schedule behind you?
Yes.
So
look at how full that is.
Carter, you had something you wanted to say there.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say, you're going to have to get the whole 2 phone situation going on at once. Learn how to have 2 conversations at once.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick about this. This is let me see here. This is a true story. I don't know if I can prove it though right now. I want to prove it. The Tulsa World, they came out to my office back in the day, and they did let me see. They did an article on me. See, local DJ spinning. Let me see if I can find it. And they did an article on me. And when they did the article, they took a photo of me. And in the article, I'm holding 2 phones. Because I'm literally taking a phone call, and I'm on another one, and then the picture guy took a photo, and I wasn't prepared for that. So back to your business now. You guys, your phone is ringing more than ever. Is that an accurate statement, sir?
Yes, there's like never a time in the day where someone's not on the phone, and most of the time it's 2 people on the phone at the same time.
Now, Carter, in addition to that, you guys, so step one, I'm trying to go over some kind of our stack of wins here. You guys, we've increased the lead flow. That's wonderful. Next is that you guys went from a startup to where you're actually now on pace to head to $1 million business. Tell us about the growth rate. Tell us about, because you really went from a startup to a success story.
From start point of where we got in contact with you guys, we actually did cross the $1 million mark from where we started with you guys. And I mean, we were also profitable, even though by like in the first year with all the mistakes that we made going into business at the beginning, because we didn't know, we're not business people, we're HVAC people, right? So, and we made a couple of mistakes along the road, and we're still able to be profitable in the first year.
Now,
which
so
is a
again,
feat of itself.
This is great stuff. Now, Carter, you guys are also rolling out recurring maintenance packages. Tell us about this, because I think a lot of our clients we work with in the HVAC space, in the optometry space, in the legal space. Clients we work with in all different industries, they're always trying to find a way to generate recurring revenue. Tell us about these recurring maintenance packages, Carter. What kind of the vision is here?
Yeah, so the recurring revenue is great because as a business owner, it gives you a little bit of security, but it always has to be a value add for your customers. Otherwise, what's the point? And so we have come up with, or they've kind of crafted it over time, where we have 2 different recurring maintenance packages and just lets the customer choose which one works best for them. And it's a lot of it helps the customers because it's a proactive way to afford some HVAC solutions.
And I think what happens is, Brandon, I think a lot of people think, I don't qualify to have success. They watch a video like this and they go, he's a genius. Brandon's a genius. He's the golden baby. I can't possibly do this. What do you say to somebody who's thinking about reaching out to work with myself, Carter, and the team? What would you say to somebody who's, thinking about coming to a conference or thinking about scheduling a 13-point assessment?
They should straight up do it. I mean, because the advertisement that got us there on your end was a Facebook ad. It said no BS. And we went to that first conference back in July, about a year ago. And that's exactly what it was. It wasn't, you didn't beat around the bush, didn't try to do the upsells or anything like that to try to and another thing, you can be this tier, and another thing, we'll add this. No, there wasn't any of that. It was just straightforward. This is exactly what you need to do in order to make your business succeed. And it's really awesome that we were actually able to cross $1 million, because I think the average startup in HVAC space, like chucking the truck, whatever, by himself, is usually only like 100,000 for the first year, and we did approximately 10 times that.
Now, we charge a flat rate. We're a flat rate service. It's $1,700 per month. We have a weekly meeting with every client. So, Carter, you meet with these wonderful guys every week.
Yes, I do.
And in the meeting, the purpose of the meeting is to help you grow your business. But it's a flat rate service where we just charge it. How much does that help you, Brandon, as a business that went from a startup to where you guys are at, knowing that you're only going to pay a flat rate of $1,700 as opposed to some variable, ambiguous fee that may or may not be charged?
It's predictable. I know exactly what I'm getting charged every single month. And I can arrange my expenses to be able to cover all that. And it just makes it real easy on my end, trying to track it.
That is the move. Now, I'm pulling this up here again. Other things, search engine optimization. I think a lot of companies, a lot of people, they want to do online advertising, marketing, and Carter, they come to us and they have kind of a woo-woo idea of how it might work.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's all these marketing companies that pitch these theories on what might work. You might try this. You might look at this. This might make you go viral. This might get some leads. This might create a TikTok thing for you. This might create an Instagram reel that really goes viral. You might get this might work. This might move the needle. There's all that kind of, this might get your name out there. There's all those kind of marketing jargon.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a linear plan we're taking you down. Brandon, how much does it help for you to know that you have a linear plan and that Carter's going to help you track the results every week?
It just, like I've been saying, it makes it predictable. I know what's coming ahead because I've read ahead of where I need to be and where I can see in the future what's coming up. It also keeps me on the same page as we're going. In the process of getting better, because we're not perfect by any means, as a company. That's the whole point of training and the whole point of coaching. to where we can get to that point,
Now, the photography, videography, web development, search engine, graphic design, we do all of that included. Plus, we do consulting. So it's kind of like you hire a CMO, a chief marketing officer, and a CFO, a chief financial officer, to work with you simultaneously to help you. How much does that help, knowing that Carter and there's a team helping you guys, and you don't have to go find separate vendors?
Quite a lot, because I don't know anything about website building or coding or anything. Like, I got to log into the background on the WordPress and stuff, but I don't go anywhere into that because I could mess it up really easily. I don't understand what's going on back there, but it's doing stuff and it's working. And knowing that I have like an IT team or web development team is great, because that means I don't have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a one-time purchase to go get a website that I don't understand the back office, the run, or any of the coding.
Now, video testimonials, one of the things we help someone grow their company, I want to encourage everybody, if you're out there listening right now, there's 14 steps is how I look at it. And Carter, you start with establishing the goals, then you move on to branding, then you move on to marketing, then you move on to sales, then you move on to fulfillment, then you move on to hiring, firing, training, and retaining. It's all of those systems. So when someone says, what's the most important aspect of growing a business, I would argue it's the execution of all 14 steps simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Talk about, Carter, the video reviews and why that's been important for Team Route 66 here.
Well, to their credit, they've really gotten out there and just asked everyone for video reviews, and they've gotten some really good ones. And what that does is it just builds value prior to, me going out to deliver an estimate. It's like you already have, 20, 30. I mean, you guys had added 10 last week. You have 20 or 30 people positively reviewing you on your Google listing, on your website. It's like that helps the sales process on the back end a lot. And so that's been really important. And to your guys' credit, you've been great at collecting those video reviews.
I'm going to pull this up here. We've got these 14 steps on how to grow a successful business. If you want to download my newest book, A Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich, you can download it, and you too can follow along here, folks. But here are the 14 steps. And I'm just going to go through these here. I'll try to zoom in so people can actually see it. 1, we establish the revenue goals. Box 2, we figure out the break-even goals. 3, we define the number of hours willing to work. 4, we determine the unique value proposition. 5, we nail down the branding. 6, we create a 3-legged marketing stool. 7, we focus on sales. And I told you about this picture. It does exist. Look, it's here.
It's great.
Tulsa World came
there
out
it is.
and said, hey, could we do a photo shoot with you? And I said, sure. What time are you guys going to show up? They said, I'll be here around this time or that time. And they show up, and I'm literally on the phone waiting. I'm on the phone with a bride booking her wedding, but then there's a DJ over here who just called in. And so I'm doing the 2 phone thing. And that became sort of a legendary cover of the business section there. In my opinion, once you get into the sales part of the path, that's where this starts to happen. And now you got to have kind of a sober mind to help you figure out, what is it costing to acquire a new customer? And are we being organized? Because you can't build an organization if you're not organized. Are you tackling that part of it, Brandon? Are you guys right there where you're starting to put cross the T's, put the dot on the I? Are you starting to kind of bevel and refine the systems now, or where are you out of the process?
We've laid the groundwork, and we are in that position where we're flipping over into refining the system that's working for us. And every single little day we find one little, like that 1% of correction every single day to make our system more efficient. And it's just going, and it's working.
I'm taking notes here, so I'll let you go in just a second. I'm taking notes. My final thing I wanted to clarify, I'm quoting you. I wrote this down, Carter. I typed it up here. It says, we're getting so many leads and word of mouth leads. We're having phones going left and right, and I need more phones. That's what I think you just said. So I got to ask you here, what do you say to somebody who's thinking about reaching out for a coach, for a consultant, somebody to help them in the way we've helped you? What do you say to somebody who's thinking about going to thrivetimeshow.com, scheduling a free 13-point assessment? They're thinking about coming to the conference. What do you say?
You're going to need to buy 3 phones after signing up with Clay Clark, and then you're going to have to figure out how to get your virtual phone so you can have a phone within a phone within a phone.
Okay, so I'm quoting you. I want to make sure this is right. It says here, you're going to need to buy, this guy's like a phone salesman. You're going to need to buy 3 phones.
I accept commissions.
Okay, but I mean, how would you describe the overall experience? Because you know how it is. People are thinking about working with us. How do you describe the overall impact it's made on your business?
Every single week, like as we're going through it, it helps me form habits, right? Because this is not something normal that anybody is just gonna know day one. Like you're not born with these skills. So like the first thing you're gonna learn is how to schedule your time and manage your time management, right? Block out everything and figure out how your week is going to go, do your to-do list. And once you get that done, you really start fine-tuning your marketing in the Google. And once you do that, then you start looking inward on your company to try to, via osmosis or just actively getting everybody working in your company to also reflect the habits that you build along the way.
You know, this show is so hot. I must put on sunblock to watch it while editing. It's so good. Brandon, I really appreciate you carving out time for us. I really respect you guys, the work you're putting in. Carter, thanks for leading these guys down the proven path here. I'm super excited to check in with you at our December conference and see where you're at. Perhaps we'll have a new success story here in December to share. Again, thank you so much. And for people that are in the area, one more time, that website, you're in Oklahoma. What's the web address there, sir?
The web address is www.route66hvac.com.
And if you're in Delaware, go ahead and call them. I mean, it's worth the travel fee. You might as well pay for 18 hours of travel each way to have a guy fix your HVAC. It's a tourist destination, folks. It's Route 66 HVAC. Now, folks, I don't want people traveling to Tulsa just to visit the home office of Route 66 HVAC. So if you do that, at least hire them to fix somebody else's AC. All right. Thanks again there, Brandon. I really do appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, so my name's Kelsey Hershey, and my husband and I own Rockhaven Retrievers. We've been working with you guys for probably 8 or 9 months now, since last May, and it's been a great experience. So when we first started, leads was actually our biggest limiting factor. So we just, we were struggling to get some leads. We had great connections with people, but we were just hoping to grow a little more and a little faster than we were. So that was our biggest limiting factor. We've about doubled our leads, and so that is no longer our biggest limiting factor right now. So that's been great. Some of the things we worked on or fixed was we were already doing some advertising, so we increased our advertising. Our website was kind of a mess. I mean, it was beautiful, but it wasn't being found. So that was our biggest issue. So you guys helped make us more Google compliant. Our coach worked with us. That was amazing. Getting it where people can actually find us. So that has been really important. And then also getting really good, high quality Google reviews where people we're in an industry that very much relies on trust. And so having those referrals and Google reviews has been really important for us. It's had a huge impact. So just the stability and predictability that comes with a business coach, honestly, that was the biggest thing for me. I really I know every Friday morning at 5 a.m., we're going to meet with Andrew. We're going to go over our numbers. We're going to talk about our biggest limiting factor. That way we can just kind of chink away at that. And so we can grow systematically. It's not chaotic at all. And so having that and the way it impacts our family has been huge too, just because, we have, like I said, we're very much family oriented. We have 4 kids. And so it's really important to us that it doesn't become all about the business. And that is something I've really appreciated. Andrew actually cares about our marriage. He cares about our family and our kids, and keeping that all in line with what we have told him is our highest priorities has been really important. And honestly, if that wasn't the case, we probably would not be doing business coaching. So that's a very important part for us. For the 13-point assessment, it's kind of a no-brainer just because there's literally no risk involved we've also gone to the business conference and come away with a lot of value as well. So honestly, I would say just do it because it is worth it. I love that if someone is hesitant, it is a month-to-month basis. So you can just set aside a certain amount and say, we're going to try it out. And if you're diligent and you're going to be open and do what your business coach asks you to do, then you definitely won't regret it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we're going to interview a real person who is a real business owner. So many people ask me, well, Clay, what kind of business owners do you work with? And the reason why we only work with 160 clients, James, is I only want to work with really good people. James, you get it.
I get it.
I don't want to work with people that are not good people. And so today's show, my commercial for her is she's good people. Her name's Kelsey, the name of her company, folks. The name of her company, look it up. She's a real person, not a hologram. It's rockhavenretrievers.com. Kelsey, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, so just so people can verify that you're not a hologram, tell us your first and last name and the name of your company.
Yeah, so my name's Kelsey Hershey, and my husband and I own Rockhaven Retrievers.
And I'm going to pull up the website so people can look at it real quick. And again, if you're out there today and you're looking for a retriever, my understanding, and I'm inferring based upon the name of the website, Rockhaven Retrievers, that you breed retrievers, or tell us about the kinds of products you provide there at rockhavenretrievers.com.
Yeah, so we raise labs, so Labrador Retrievers, purebred AKC, Labrador Retrievers, and Golden Retriever puppies for amazing families.
And so how did you first hear about us here at the Thrivetime Show and the business coaching services that we provide?
Yeah, I think we heard about you probably 5 years ago. So originally, I think we actually was through a podcast, but then we worked with y'all for almost a year on a different business, which we actually got to be able to sell, which was great. And now we've been working with you guys for probably 8 or 9 months now since last May. And it's been a great experience.
So what I want to do, James, you talk to people every day that reach out that would like to be clients. And your job is, you and the team, your job is to sort of filter out who's a good fit and who isn't a good fit for what we do.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to go through kind of line by line some questions for Miss Kelsey here. So that way people watching online can figure out if you're a good fit for what we do. So first off, this year versus last year, can you tell us about the leads? Like, what kind of growth have you seen in terms of lead growth from this year versus last year? So from life after business coaching to maybe life before business coaching, what kind of contrast have you seen in lead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when we first started, leads was actually our biggest limiting factor. So we just we were struggling to get some leads. We had great connections with people, but we were just hoping to grow a little more and a little faster than we were. So that was our biggest limiting factor. We've about doubled our leads. And so that is no longer our biggest limiting factor right now. So that's been great.
So you've doubled. Now, James, you have questions that people ask you all the time. What follow-up question would you have for Kelsey about lead generation? Because I know people ask you on the phone all the time. They say, can you guys help me generate leads? Do you have any follow-up questions for Kelsey?
Well, a lot of people don't know where to get leads. So where do you get your leads from?
Yeah, so some of the things we worked on or fixed was we were already doing some advertising, so we increased our advertising. Our website was kind of a mess. I mean, it was beautiful, but it wasn't being found. So that was our biggest issue. So you guys helped make us more Google compliant. Our coach worked with us. That was amazing. Getting it where people can actually find us. So that has been really important. And then also getting really good, high quality Google reviews where people we're in an industry that very much relies on trust. And so having those referrals and Google reviews has been really important for us.
Okay, so second follow-up question here for you is, when you do advertisements, I meet so many people all the time, and James, you talk to them on the phone. They're spending thousands of dollars advertising their products. So I'm going to pull up a bunch of examples real quick. These are real examples, okay? So rockhavenretrievers.com, that's your business. Okay, here's another business. True story. Client of mine, longtime client of mine, PMH OKC. This is a real business, PMH SMHOKC. They do not sell retrievers. They are a home remodeling business. They build pools, outdoor kitchens, that kind of thing. Another client of mine, Koloff Fitness. This is a client that's based in Joplin, Missouri. This is a company that's based in Dallas, Texas. Okay. These companies, also the Purcell Group, Stacy Purcell, the Purcell Group, wonderful lady. These are 3 examples of clients that I met that were spending over $2,000 a week before I met them advertising on the internet, and they were not generating any leads at all. I want to get your thoughts on this, Kelsey. We are obsessive. We are fastidious about tracking. Can you talk about the importance of having a coach that helps you track where your leads are coming from?
Yeah. So in an ideal world, we would have done all the tracking already. Sometimes it's a matter of having that accountability. And that was actually the biggest thing for us, is we knew we were supposed to be doing some of these things, but just knowing that every Friday morning we're going to meet with our coach, we're going to go over our tracking sheet, we're going to know what we're spending every week, we're going to know our leads, making sure that those numbers are lining up has been really important, so that, like you said, the advertising doesn't get out of control, and we know exactly how much we're spending every week.
Now, in the world we live in, even right now, someone's watching and they're going, I bet you she's being paid to say these things. There's a world we live in where people are, I love it. I actually love it, because I do believe only the paranoid survive. But there's a world we live in, James, where a lot of people, there's shamockery, there's jackassery, there's scams. You see it, get rich quick, get rich in 17 minutes, the whole thing. Our service happens to be month to month. And so when you sold your company, you called us with great enthusiasm and you said, guys, congratulations, we're selling our business. And we were so excited for you guys. And we helped you guys to grow your company, and you sold it. And there wasn't a contract where I said, this just in, Kelsey, you're locked into a contract. Or I didn't say, uh-oh, you owe us a lot of money to get out of the contract. We've all been in a contract for a gym or a timeshare or a phone plan or something. Can you talk about the peace of mind it gives you knowing that you're paying $1,700 a month, $1,700 per month, $1,700 a month, and knowing it's month to month, even though our average client is with us for 6 years or longer? Tell us about the peace of mind of knowing that it is month to month.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely peace of mind there. Honestly, the trust we've built at this point, I have no concerns at all, just because we have a very, very good relationship with Andrew, our business coach. And honestly, I was more concerned that we'd be able to get Andrew again after we sold our business, just because he's amazing and has done so well. I was more concerned that you guys would keep us as customers and with our next business. So that was not an issue at all.
Okay, now for your business, go back to your business. We've got to gather video reviews. So I'm trying to celebrate my clients today while giving a lot of examples. So if you go to thrivetimeshow.com, that's obviously a business that I'm involved in. If you go to eitrlounge.com, that's obviously a business I'm involved in. If you go to Dr. Zoellner and Associates, that's obviously a business that Dr. Zoellner and I are involved in. So when you look at these different businesses, we are teaching that which we do. Like, we're teaching you to do things that we do in our own companies. And so when you go to thrivetimeshow.com, the idea of having a business conference is not a new idea for me. And I know this sounds shocking, but I've been doing business conferences for 20 years. This is my 20th year doing the same thing. So we have thousands and thousands of testimonials from real clients. So people say, Clay Clark, I've never heard of you before, but I know Robert Kiyosaki's speaking at your conference, or I know Eric Trump's coming, or I know that you're bringing in Tim Tebow or whatever. But ultimately, James, people, they often want to know, how long have you been doing this? Where are you located? We talked to a lady the other day. She said, does Tulsa have hotels? Remember this lady, wonderful lady?
Yeah.
I mean, so there's people that have lots of questions about, does Tulsa have hotels? What kind of questions do people ask you about our conferences, James?
Well, they want to know. A lot of people want to know, what exactly are you going to talk about? So they don't know that you're going to talk about marketing, systems and scaling, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, search engine optimization.
Right.
That's a big one. Sales training, just all these things.
So people ask you this every time.
Right, they do.
And so we have testimonials. And so I want to get your thoughts on this, Kelsey. How has gathering video testimonials for your business impacted you? Because I hear so much from people, they say the video testimonials were important for them. How has gathering objective video reviews from real customers impacted your business?
Oh, it's been so important. So for us, like I said, our business is very much built on trust. So having people that trust us to raise their puppy, to know that it's being cared for well and is getting everything that we say. We are in an industry that unfortunately has a pretty bad reputation in some areas. And there's scams out there. There's things out there, unfortunately. And so we need people to be able to trust us, to trust that we are doing the right thing and really caring for our puppies. So having those video reviews on our website and also able to just send them to people when they ask, being able to say, hey, this is a real person who's gotten a puppy from us, that has been very important for our growth.
Now, next area, and this is something important. I don't know, James. James, you like to make steak, right?
I do.
Okay, so let's talk about making steak for a second. I'm getting into your wheelhouse. When you're making steak, is it the quality of meat? Does the quality of meat matter?
It does, and I always try to go to the part of the store that has the glass with the person behind it and get the prime cut.
So the quality of the cut matters?
It does.
Does it matter that what do you cook your steak in?
In a cast iron pan.
On part 2 of today's show, by the way, we're going to put on the video of how you cook steak. Okay. So part 2, you use what kind of pan do you use?
Cast iron.
And what do you put on the steak?
I do butter and oil, like extra virgin olive oil, and then just salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes a little garlic and rosemary on it too.
And then does cooking the steak, how you cook the steak matter?
It does. I always cook that thing on high heat, and the alarm will go off 4 out of 5 times.
Now, this is so important, though. This is so important because people say, Clay, I want to grow my business. What's the most important part? And James, people ask you all the time. They say, so are you guys an accounting firm? Are you guys a marketing firm? Are you guys a sales coaching thing? And it's all of it. So when you come to our workshops or you're a client, we go through all 14 aspects of your company. And so I'm really going to tap into Kelsey's brain on this because her and her family, her team, they really are attentive and diligent about all of these areas and really trying to do the best they can to provide the best service possible. So first off, we have to figure out your revenue goals. I'm not going to ask you to share your goals on today's show, but you have to know how many dogs you have to sell to break even. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to know your break even point, box number 2. And again, anybody who wants to download this book for free, you go to thrivetimeshow.com/free-resources, and you can follow along. You can download my book, A Millionaire's Guide, How to Become Sustainably Rich, thrivetimeshow.com/free-resources. And again, we're talking here from page 5 of this book. Kelsey, how has that impacted you knowing your break-even point?
That's been really important. I mean, we wouldn't be able to, this is a passion of ours. We really love it, but we can't keep doing it if we aren't making a profit and feeding our family. So we have 4 boys. We need to be able to feed them, to care for them. And so knowing our break even it's a non-negotiable. We would not be doing what we're doing for this long if we didn't know our numbers.
So you got to know the numbers. And again, somebody out there says, Clay, I'm not an accountant. We'll help you with that. Don't worry about it, folks. You got to know your numbers, okay? Now, box 3 is you got to know how many hours per week you're willing to work. Now, this is a very controversial subject. I will share my thoughts on this. Someone out there can disagree. I believe that everybody watching today's show, you should pray about it, ask God, I mean it sincerely, and then talk to your spouse and figure out the boundaries with which we are going to work. So for my wife and I like to work 6 days, rest on the 7th. That's the mindset that I have. That's my ideal scenario. Some people say, you work 6 days a week. James, new employees are always shocked that I'm here 6 days a week.
They are.
I mean, do you hear that a lot there? I guess you hear 6 days a week. But it's every week I do it.
Every single week.
Yeah, and you work 6 days, 7 days a week. You do it too, right?
Right.
But there's some people that want to work 4 days a week or 5 days a week. Kelsey, why is it important for you and your husband with the 4 kids you have to know how many hours per week that you're willing to work?
I think it's important just because we have priorities. And so if we know what our priorities are and then we can assign timeframes to them, it really helps just our family operate better and us feel like we're actually achieving what we say is our priorities. So for us, we do the same thing. We work 6 days a week. And I think, honestly, y'all have helped us a lot with just feeling comfortable that is okay, because there is a lot of shame and stuff around that. But priority wise, we do assign timeframes to things just so that we can accomplish the things that are important to us.
I'm not saying this to name drop. I'm saying this because it's true. Tonight my wife and I are taking out one of the most successful TV hosts in America, and it's on a Saturday night. And to us, that's work, but we like it. I'm not saying this to name drop. I'm just saying this. When we have Robert Kiyosaki that will come in or Eric Trump, we will be working that week, probably 7 days that week. I don't want to do that though. So because we will go to church, but then it's like when we get James, when my wife and I just got back, we had to go to Florida for a business trip recently. I got back and I had a lot of work I had to get caught up on. So my schedule got out of whack, but it's so important that you're out there, you have an ideal schedule that you feel good about. And for my wife and I, it's 6 days a week. Someone out there watching, it might be 4 days a week, but it's really important. The next area you have to focus on if you want to scale a company, we'll help you through all of this, folks, is you got to figure out, box number 4, what makes you unique? So this just in, there are other dog breeders in America. What? There are other dog breeders in America. This just in. So we've had to work with you. You've worked with us to just figure out what makes you unique and then tell the world about it. Can you talk about why it's important there, Kelsey, for your business to know your unique value proposition?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for us, we definitely lean into this really hard because, like you said, there's so many others. There's a lot of unethical ones. And so we really want to differentiate ourselves. So being able to share that we do health testing with our parents, we provide a really good health guarantee, 2-year health guarantee with all of our puppies. That sort of thing allows us to show how we are different because there is a small group of people are looking for what we provide. And if they don't know how we are different, they won't be able to find us. So that's why we make that very clear on our website and talking to people how we differentiate ourselves.
Now, this is so big, folks. We're going through each one. There's 14 steps of business growth. There's 14 steps, and I want to hit on these because it's so important that you check all these boxes. Box number 5, your branding. This just in. People do judge a book based on the cover. They do judge a product based on the website. They do. Now, James, your desk is oftentimes 4 feet from mine.
Yes.
And sometimes it's 15 feet away from mine.
Right.
Does it ever blow your mind that people come in to the office, figuratively speaking, or literally, sometimes with an unsuccessful business, and they end up building a multi-million-dollar business almost every time?
Yeah, it's really insane because I've been here for 2 years, and I worked in the part of the business that wasn't really part of the business, doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And so I've got to see contractors, home builders, roofers, dog groomers, just so many different industries. Doctors, lawyers, accountants come in, and then they have a business that's struggling, and then you help them get more leads, and then you help them with the sales scripts, and then you help them with hiring and inspiring. And then there's just so many things that you do that help scale their business, which is what everyone wants to do, is scale their business and have more time freedom and have more financial freedom. And I see it, and it's like every week it's a new person that reaches that goal. I believe it.
You see it every day. So I want to ask your thoughts on this, Kelsey. Why is it important that your branding is top notch?
I mean, it reflects what's inside and what's happening here. So if we do an amazing job, but we can't portray that to everybody else, it's going to get lost in translation. So it's really important that what we're doing here matches what other people are seeing.
This is, folks, I hope you're learning something, folks. This is such a powerful interview here because these folks, I'm telling you, at Rock Haven Retrievers, they're high quality. I'm totally against cloning technology. But if I were to clone people, I would want to clone these people. Okay, so box number 6, marketing. You have to have a 3-legged marketing stool. By the way, branding consists of your website, your business cards, your print pieces, your logos, and we do all of that included for the $1,700 a month. So everything, we do all of that for you. That's all included. Let's talk about marketing for a second. Kelsey, why do you have to have a 3-legged marketing stool? Like 3 viable ways that you generate leads. So in your case, you're getting Google reviews and video reviews. That's powerful. Boom. 2, search engine optimization. 3, boom. Or 2, search engine optimization. And then 3, online ads. So it's not just one way you're marketing. It's not just Google reviews and video reviews. 2, it's not just search engine optimization. 3, it's not just online ads. Why do you have to have 3 ways that you market to your ideal and likely buyers?
Well, mainly because if something would happen to one of them, we need to be able to pivot. So if we're all in on just one area, say we just do advertising, well, if that advertising gets shut down, that immediately stops all of our deal flows, all of our growth, everything is done. So we need to have, I don't want to say diversified because that almost makes it sound like we can be distracted, but if we can focus on 3 different things and do them very well, it has worked really well for us.
Folks, I'm telling you, this is powerful stuff. Somebody out there, A, you need a dog, so you're probably going to Rockhaven Retrievers right now. But B, if you're trying to grow a company, take notes. These are real people doing real things. Box number 7, you have to create a sales conversion system. Has to be a documented process. If you're building a boat, I'm hoping that you're using a blueprint. If you're building a car, I'm hoping that you're building a car using a blueprint. If you're building a house, I hope you're using a blueprint. If you're building anything of consequence at scale, I would hope you're using a blueprint. I don't know why in business people don't want to use blueprints. I don't quite have it figured out yet. I don't know why people insist on operating via verbal traditions and tribal knowledge and, well, Carl knows the passwords. I don't understand that, but in order to scale something, you have to create a documented system. And so for sales, you have to have call scripts, call recording, a one sheet that clearly documents how you provide solutions for the workforce, to the marketplace. You have to have pre-written emails that make sense, a lead tracking system that makes sense. Kelsey, talk about the sales conversion system. Why do you have to have all these systems in place?
We need them in place because we're people who make mistakes. So for me, I can be going about and doing things, boom, 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 and I can totally forget something. And ask my husband, he knows this, but if I have a checklist and I know what I'm doing, that is much less likely to happen. So I really rely on having systems in place because with raising puppies, they are living and breathing. Like, we can't mess up on this. So we really need those systems in place to make sure every single thing is getting done.
Folks, I'm telling you, whether you're feeding dogs, you're a dentist, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, we have a wonderful, and I get James on part 2 of today's show. You're going to be able to teach the world how you make a steak. And I'm being real. Too Cool Keith, a wonderful guy in Visalia, California. He makes the best steaks in the world.
He does.
And big shout out to him, by the way. His company's called Crawdaddies. This guy makes the best steaks in the world. I'm being real. It's worth the vacation here. This is Visalia, California. If you're like going, man, I don't know what I'm going to take my kids to this year, go to Visalia, California. Find a way to get there. Head on over there to Crawdaddies. It's worth the trip. Once you get there, you can see all the wonderful things that Northern California has to offer. But the highlight of your trip will be going to Too Cool Keith's. The business is called Crawdaddies. It's incredible. I love this place. Best steak in the world. Steak number 2 coming in hot. That was a place called Bluestone. They're not around anymore. The owner decided to shut down. So moving into the second position is you, James.
That's right, baby.
Now, third is Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. So it's kind of a tight competition. My wife's moving into third or fourth position right now. So you're making some great steaks, okay? So I want everyone to know you have to have a system in place, okay? It's a system. Box number 8. You've got to know you have to determine your sustainable customer acquisition costs. At the end of the day, how much does it cost you to get a new customer? So Kelsey, whatever you charge for the dogs that you guys sell, you have to know how much it costs you to get a new customer. Talk about the importance of knowing that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right on our tracking sheet. So we need to know the cost of when leads come in, what each of those costs are that we're accounting for, just because costs can get out of hand very quickly. And so if we're tracking them every week, we know exactly where we're at.
Now, again, folks, I'm hoping you're taking notes. I'm hoping you're getting this. This is powerful stuff. And someone says, this isn't exciting at all. This seems like a very tedious step-by-step process. Yeah, exactly. Do you want your life to be exciting? Don't use systems. You're going to have an exciting life. Will you be able to pay the bills? Are you on the verge of bankruptcy? I mean, that's exciting stuff. But if you want to have a proven path to create sustainable success, you've got to implement these systems. Step number 9, create repeatable systems, processes, and file organization. This just in. You can't build a successful organization if you are not organized. Kelsey, preach the good news about being organized.
Well, it's not necessarily my strong suit. It's my husband. So that is why we need these systems in place. So my husband is very much naturally detail oriented. I tend to be a little bit more on I love to talk to people and do things and play with puppies, but I'm not necessarily system oriented. So when we have these things in place, it helps our marriage, that's for sure, but it also helps our business and helps us make sure that we're doing everything that we say is really important to us and that we're getting things done in a timely manner.
Final 3 steps, folks, coming in hot. Box number 11 or box number 10. You've got to create a management system. You have to have an effective management system. What am I saying? Management is what are the people on your team expected to do? And do they do it? How do you convince humans on the planet Earth to do their jobs with excellence? I see a lot of people have great systems, great processes, great visions, but nobody is getting anything done because nobody's being managed. Can you talk about that? Because your business, you've doubled the number of leads you're getting. Can you talk about the importance of learning these management systems or even these hiring processes?
Yeah, so we're still very much a family operated business. We're really still a small business, but it's not just me. My husband works here. We're full time together. So knowing that we're on the same page, we do have meetings in the morning, just making sure we're on track, that we're focused on the same things and we know what's going on. I would say is key for us having quick meetings in the morning, making sure that we're both know what's happening for the day and going through our calendar once a week. We will do that as well, just to make sure our week is planned out, and so it's not chaos during the week.
Okay, box number 12 here, folks, coming in hot. We're almost there, almost there. Stay on target, almost there. Box number 12, or box number 11, you have to create a sustainable and repetitive weekly schedule. Like when is your daily huddle? When is your weekly group interview? When will you call the leads? When will you go home? When will you show up to work? What is your schedule? Can you talk about that, Kelsey, about the importance of having a documented schedule that you, your husband, and your team adheres to?
Yeah, we keep a pretty good schedule just because we need to know what's going on. So we can't be losing kids during the week. We got to know who's getting the kids. We need to know puppies. We need to know who's coming and visiting, who's coming to take a puppy home, that sort of thing. So if we don't know that, it's going to be pretty chaotic during the week. So that's why we do a weekly meeting and we do plan out pretty tightly our schedule.
Now, James, we move on to the final couple boxes here. So we got box number 13 or box number 12. You have to create human resources and recruitment systems. There's got to be a process. Now, Kelsey, I'm sure you could see the writing on the wall. You're going, wow, we're getting more leads. We're doing more transactions. And at a certain point, hiring people will become your biggest limiting factor. At some point, hiring people will become your biggest limiting factor. Can you talk about the importance of having a plan in place for onboarding new employees?
Yeah, this is actually something that is very top of mind right now that we've been talking with our business coach about, because this is our next step. So we have been talking about different ways of finding leads, whether that's, finding our first employees, because as we grow, like you said, it is going to become our biggest limiting factor. So this is very top of mind current for us, because we are starting to go down this path with our business coach.
Okay, now box number 13 and 14, folks, you've got to make sure that your business, that you automate the earning of your millions. What am I saying? You have to have an accounting process in place where you track every dollar, because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And so if any of these aspects are neglected, your business will not succeed. And that's why I believe everybody out there, if you have a sound mind, you should probably have an attorney you work with who knows what he's talking about to guide you through the legal aspects of your company. You should probably have an accountant you can trust to guide you through the accounting aspects of your company. You should probably have a dentist that you go to that's not a guy who's watched a couple YouTube videos on teeth brushing. I mean, you probably want to have an expert in your life to help you in these various areas. And the whole purpose of that is so you can achieve what we call the F7 success, where you have success with your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your friendship, your fun. So, Kelsey, as you're going down this path, so many people are taking notes right now. If you could share with everybody kind of maybe a 60-second recap of what impact having a business coach has had on your life and your businesses, we'd love to hear. We'd love to hear from you.
Oh man, it's had a huge impact. So just the stability and predictability that comes with a business coach, honestly, that was the biggest thing for me. I really appreciate. I know every Friday morning at 5 a.m., we're going to meet with Andrew. We're going to go over our numbers. We're going to talk about our biggest limiting factor. That way we can just kind of chink away at that. And so we can grow systematically. It's not chaotic at all. And so having that and the way it impacts our family has been huge too, just because we have, like I said, we're very much family oriented. We have 4 kids. And so it's really important to us that it doesn't become all about the business. And that is something I've really appreciated. Andrew actually cares about our marriage. He cares about our family and our kids, and keeping that all in line with what we have told him is our highest priorities has been really important. And honestly, if that wasn't the case, we probably would not be doing business coaching. So that's a very important part for us.
And so what do you say to somebody who's on the fence? They're thinking about coming to our workshop. They're thinking about going to Thrivetime show and scheduling a free 13-point assessment. They're thinking about coming to a business conference. They know it's $1,700 a month. They know for the business conferences that we have scholarship pricing available to help families in need. So you can name your price. They know that we do scholarships for clients from time to time. But what would you say to somebody who's on the fence and thinking about either attending a conference or scheduling a free 13-point assessment?
Well, for the 13-point assessment, it's kind of a no-brainer just because there's literally no risk involved. We've also gone to the business conference and come away with a lot of value as well. So honestly, I would say just do it because it is worth it. I love that if someone is hesitant, it is a month-to-month basis. So you can just set aside a certain amount and say, we're going to try it out. And if you're diligent and you're going to be open and do what your business coach asks you to do, then you definitely won't regret it.
James, I'll give you the final question here. You talk to wonderful people every day that are maybe the potential Kelseys of America, or some people you say, whoa, we can't help you. And I don't want anybody to waste their time filling out the form if you have an esoteric belief system and not an actual business you're trying to grow. So, James, what final question would you have for Kelsey?
If you could do it all over again, would you hire us?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, very thankful for you guys. It's been a huge blessing. We love it. Honestly, Fridays when we meet, it's the highlight of our day. It's our most productive day for sure. So absolutely.
Kelsey, thank you so much for carving out time for us today. I encourage everybody out there, if you don't hate yourself and you do love retrievers, if you do love retrievers and you don't hate yourself and you're looking to get a retriever, go to rockhavenretrievers.com, rockhavenretrievers.com. That's the website, rockhavenretrievers.com. And on part 2 of today's show, James will teach us how to make one of his epic steaks. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too, guys.
Bye-bye.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Hi, my name is Tim Johnson. I'm the owner of Tuscaloosa Ophthalmology, as well as Southern Eye Consultants, 2 ophthalmology practices in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I'm a client of Clay Clark. He asked me to answer a couple questions. The first question was, how did I hear about Clay Clark? I am a big fan of business podcasts, and his podcast popped up as a recommended listening, so I started listening to the podcast. I was a little suspicious or skeptical because I thought there was going to be like an upcharge or an upsell, but the idea of the month-to-month canceling really appealed to me, and I kept waiting for the shoe to drop and for the upsell or for the scam to come in, but it never did. It's very legitimate. Since working with Clay, I've gotten a much firmer grasp on how business works. Even in medicine, business is business. I've learned a lot about marketing especially how Google reviews work and how important that is. And that's very important even in medicine. At least once a week, if not every day, I get a new patient because somebody Googled eye doctor in Tuscaloosa or ophthalmologist in Tuscaloosa. And you'd be amazed how many patients just look for an eye doctor that way. And so he's really changed our business. Our business has grown a lot, maybe 15 to 20% this year. And so we're really grateful for the things he's done for our business. And the last question was, when did I perfect the laugh? I would say that you can never perfect the laugh. You just keep working at it, and just keeps getting better and better each day. But you got to keep working at it.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, real clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
All the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is. We're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people, accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you, folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board, is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is, how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8. What does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th. Yep. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. Yes. And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You know, you could be at a startup phase or you could be, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad. And it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that, your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now, 7 a.m. to 5, Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day. 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session. We do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoy it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds, pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250 or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C-I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. And you did it right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke
Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got a fire breather, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lending Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement, when you do the proven system. It's so exciting. People are going crazy. Guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrivetime Show here with you. It is day 2 and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. And I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from that's ahead of where I am. And I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builders shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D. Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love the building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. the processes and the advertising and marketing, I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you, so congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodruff Finishing, business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now, and we started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is they'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm gonna check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week, it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody shows up to work. I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be, when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous. Just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach, you know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, you know, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. And, you know, my rich dad was one of those persons.
You're on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. Everybody, listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.